What is good, YouTube? It's your boy Flames back at it again. Another Bible reading video. And today, I'm about to be reading out of First Samuel, chapter 14, man. Without further ado, let's get right to it, bro. Jonathan defeats the Philistines. Oh, okay. So we got. Oh, okay. One day, Jonathan, the son of Saul. Okay, so Jonathan, Saul's son. Oh, yeah, and sorry for a little bit of context in the last video. Saul just did a burnt offering when he wasn't supposed to and disobeyed God. And Israel's kind of in a panic right now because they just got a bunch of people from the Philistines. The Philistines' army is massive, and everybody's kind of scattered and panicked, is what it really seems like as of right now. Um, but yeah, if you want to know more about that, you can go either read yourself or I'll go check out the last couple of videos. Um, but yeah, chapter 14. One day Jonathan the son of Saul said to the young man who carried his armor, "Come, let us go over to the Philistine garrison on the other side." But he did not tell his father. Saul was staying in the outskirts of Gibeah in the pomegranate cave at Migron. People who were with him were about 600 men, including Ahijah, the son of Attab, Ichabod's brother, son of Phinehas, son of Eli, the priest of the Lord in Shiloh, wearing an ephod. And the people did not know that Jonathan had gone. Within the passes by which Jonathan sought to go over the Philistine garrison, there was a rocky crag on the one side and a rocky crag on the other side. The name of one was Bozez, and the name of the other Sinan. The one crag rose on the north in front of Mishmash, the other on the south in front of Geba. Jonathan said to this young man who carried his armor, "Come, let us go over to the garrison of these uncircumcised, and maybe the Lord will work for us, for nothing can hinder the Lord from saving by many or few." So it seems like Jonathan has great faith already. Um, and his armor bearer said to him, "Do all that is in your heart, do as you wish. Behold, I am with you, heart and soul." Real one. And Jonathan said, "Behold, we will cross over to the men, and we will show ourselves to them. If they say to us, 'Wait until we come to you,' then we will still stand in our place, but we will not go up to them. But if they say, 'Come up to us,' then we will go up, for the Lord has given them into our hand, and this shall be the sign to us." So both of them showed themselves to the garrison of the Philistines. And the Philistines said, "Look, Hebrews are coming out of the holes where they have hidden themselves." It's like in Vietnam when they were like hiding in the tunnels, bro. That's what that reminds me of. Like when they were hiding in the tunnels in the jungle and they were like rigging tunnels with traps and stuff, bro. Um, and the Philistines said, "Look, the Hebrews are coming out of the holes where they've hidden themselves." And the men of the garrison hailed Jonathan and his armor bearer and said, "Come up to us and we will show you a thing." And Jonathan said to his armor bearer, "Oh wait, hold on. I need to read this over one more time. Sorry. Okay, I see. Come up after me, for the Lord has given them into the hand of Israel." Then Jonathan climbed up on his hands and feet, and his armor bearer after him. And they fell before Jonathan, and his armor bearer killed them after him. And that first strike which Jonathan and his armor bearer made killed about 20 men within, as it were half of Pharaoh's length and an acre of land. Huh? Wait, what does this even mean? What does this even mean, bro? I need the original translation of this ASAP, bro. What does this even mean? And they fell before John. Okay, hold on. Let me read this slowly. Sorry, I can't keep reading without understanding. Like, I'm sorry if yeah, I don't know, but I gotta look over this. Jonathan said to his armor bearer, "Come up after me, for the Lord has given them into the hand of Israel." And Jonathan climbed up on his hands and feet, and the armor bearer after him, and they fell before Jonathan, and his armor bearer killed them after him. And that first strike which Jonathan and his armor bearer made killed about 20,000. So both look, the Hebrews are okay. Maybe they thought they were Philistines. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I wish I had a little bit more context or like a little bit more of an in-depth situation. Like I feel like the Bible, like it'll say something crazy that happened, and it'll just be like in like a short, like little paragraph, and it's like, man, I wish I knew a little bit more context about what exactly happened here. Um, but it doesn't leave anything out per se. It just like says it very direct. Like it'll say something crazy, but it doesn't feel the need to emphasize it because it just is what it is, you know. But okay. So after and that first strike, which Jonathan and his armor bearer made, killed about 20 men. So did he like swing a sword and then like it like almost like in like an anime, like he swung the sword and then like it did like Zoro, bro, swinging his blade and it'll like shoot like shoot out almost like a weight like a slice. That's like the best way for me to put it, bro. Like Zoro, bro. They were on like some Zoro ish, bro. Um, And there was a panic in the camp, in the field. This is even crazier. What in the world? In the field and among all the people. The garrison and even the raiders trembled. The earth quaked and it became a very great panic. So when this happened, bro, it was like an earthquake happened. That's crazy, bro. And the watchmen of Saul and Gibeah and Benjamin looked, and behold, the multitude was dispersing here and there. Then Saul said to the people who were with him, count and see who has gone from us. And when they had counted, behold, Jonathan and his armor bearer were not there. So Saul said to Ahijah, bring the ark of God here, for the ark of God went at that time with the people of Israel. Now Saul was now while Saul was talking to the priest, the tumult in the camp of the Philistines increased more and more. So Saul said to the priest, withdraw your hand. Then Saul and all the people who were with him rallied and went into the battle, and behold, every Philistine's sword was against his fellow, and there was great confusion. Okay, so this act that Jonathan did just completely flustered everybody. They don't even know what's going on. And then they don't even they don't even know who they're fighting against. Like they're just so confused by all the randomness of the events, the supernatural events that are occurring. And so Saul said that all the people who were with him rallied and went to the battle, and behold, every Philistine sword was against his fellow, and there was very great confusion. Now the Hebrews who had been with the Philistines before that time, and who had gone up with them into the camp, even they also turned to be with the Israelites who were with Saul and Jonathan. Likewise, when all the men hit Israel who had hidden themselves in the hill country of Ephraim heard the Philistines were fleeing, they too followed hard after them in the battle. So the Lord saved Israel that day, and the battle passed beyond Beth Aven. Wow, bro. So Jonathan's face saved everybody. Realistically, that's what that is. Crazy. Saul's rash vow. What is rash? I feel like I should know what that word means. Describes actions, people that are hasty, reckless, or taken without careful consideration of the consequences. Okay, so Saul basically probably did something that he shouldn't have in a panic quickly. Essentially, maybe. I don't know. And the men of Israel had been hard pressed that day, so Saul had made an oath on the people, saying, cursed be the man who eats food until it is evening, and I am avenged on my enemies. So none of the people had tasted food. Now when all the people came to the forest, behold, there was honey on the ground, and when the people entered the forest, behold, the honey was dropping. But no one put his hand to his mouth, for the people feared the oath. But Jonathan had not heard his father charge the people with the oath, so he put out the tip of his staff that was in his hand, and dipped it in the honeycomb, and put his hand to his mouth, and his eyes became bright. Then one of the people said, your father has strictly charged the people with an oath, saying, cursed be the man who eats food this day. And the people were faint. And Jonathan said, my father has troubled the land. See how my eyes have become bright because I tasted a little of this honey. How much better if the people had eaten freely today of the spoil of their enemies that they found. For now the defeat among the Philistines had not been great. They struck down the Philistines that day with the Mishmash to Algion, and the people were very faint. The people pounced on the spoil and took sheep and oxen and calves and slaughtered them on the ground, and the people ate them with the blood. Then they told Saul, behold, the people were sinning against the Lord by eating with the blood. And he said, You have dealt treacherously. Roll a great stone to me here. And Saul said, Disperse yourselves among the people and say to them, Let every man bring his ox or his sheep and slaughter them here and eat, and do not sin against the Lord by eating with the blood. So every one of him brought his ox with him. I'm sorry. That night, and they slaughtered them there. And Saul built an altar to the Lord. It was the first altar that he built to the Lord. And Saul said, Let us go down after the Philistines by night and plunder them until the morning light. Let us not leave a man of them. And they said, Do whatever seems good to you. But the priest said, Let us draw near to God here. And Saul inquired of God, Shall I go down after the Philistines? Will you give them into the hand of Israel? But he did not answer him that day. And Saul said, Come here, all you leaders of the people, and know and see how this sin has arisen today. For the Lord lives who saves Israel, though it be Jonathan my son, he shall surely die. But there was not a man among all the people who answered him. Then he said to all Israel, You shall be on one side, and I and Jonathan my son will be on the other side. And the people said to Saul, Do what seems good to you. Therefore Saul said, O Lord God of Israel, why have you not answered your servant this day? If guilt was on me or on Jonathan my son, O Lord God of Israel, give Ern. But if this guilt is on your people Israel, give Thummim. And Jonathan and Saul were taken, but the people escaped. Then Saul said, Cast the lot between me and my son Jonathan, and Jonathan was taken. So he's basically saying, like, this happens, this is what that means. This happens, that's what that means. And Saul said to Jonathan, Tell me what you had done. And Jonathan told him, I tasted a little honey with the tip of the staff that was in my hand. Here I am, I will die. And Saul said, God do so to me and more also, that you shall surely die, Jonathan. And the people said to Saul, Shall Jonathan die, who has worked for this great salvation in Israel? Far from it. As the Lord lives, there shall not be one hair of his head fall to the ground, for he has worked with God this day. So the people ransomed Jonathan, so that he did not die. And Saul went up from pursuing the Philistines, and the Philistines went to their own place. So he's saying, like, why should Jonathan die for accidentally doing something like that and tasting the honey that he didn't even know better for after he just completely saved our butts today? He literally, his faith saved everybody. So that's what the people were saying. Saul fights Israel's enemies. When Saul had taken the kingship over Israel, he fought against all his enemies on every side, against Moab, against the Ammonites, against Edom, against the kings of Zobah, against the Philistines. Wherever he turned, he routed them. And he did valiantly and struck the Amalekites and delivered Israel out of the hands of those who plundered them. Now the sons of Saul were Jonathan, Ishvi, and Malchishua. And the names of his two daughters were these. The name of the firstborn was Merib, and the name of the younger Michal. And the name of Saul's wife was Anium, the daughter of Alamaz. The name of the commander of his army was Abner, the son of Ner, Saul's uncle. Kish was the father of Saul, and Ner was the father of Abner, the son of Abel. There was hard fighting against the Philistines all the days of Saul, and when Saul saw any strong man or any valiant man, he attached him to himself. I gotta look up what that means, bro. Okay, so it basically means Saul's reign is one defined professional. So he's saying like his whole time was spent fighting, and he was just spent in a desperate search to find strong men. Like if he saw you when you're strong, he's gonna try and get you to fight, basically. Um, so he was more focused on. This verse highlights Saul's focus on military power rather than spiritual leadership, setting the stage for his decline while highlighting his obsession with personal strength. So that was kind of his flaw. He was less worried about, you know, following God, even though I'm sure he cared about that. But his main focus and priority was military strength, essentially. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for watching. Long video. If you're still here, God bless. I love you, and thank you for your support. And I'm gonna catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.